Hi, everybody. Now we're going to do a little short story. This story is called Lazy Harry. Now, listen to the end because there's going to be a shout out again today. And hopefully, you'll see that it's not good to be lazy. All right, here we go. Lazy Harry by the Brothers Grimm. Harry was lazy, and although he had nothing else to do but drive his goat daily to pasture, he nevertheless groaned when he went home after his day's work were done. "Oh, it's indeed a heavy burden," he said, "and a wearisome employment to drive a goat into a field this way, year after year, till late into the autumn. If one could lie down and sleep, but no, one must have one's eyes open, lest it hurts the young trees, or squeezes itself through the hedge into a garden, or runs away altogether. How can one have any rest or peace in one's life?" He seated himself, collected his thoughts, and considered how he could set his shoulders free from this burden. For a long time, he'd been thinking was to no purpose, but then suddenly it was as if the scales fell from his eyes. "Oh, I know what I'll do," he cried. "I'll marry Fat Trina, who also has a goat, and she can take mine out with hers, and then I'll have to do no more. There'll be no more trouble to myself." So Harry got up, set his weary legs in motion, and went right across the street, for it was no farther, to where the parents of Fat Trina lived, and asked for their industrious and virtuous daughter in marriage. The parents didn't reflect long. "Oh, birds of a feather flock together," they thought, and consented. Now, I just need you to know that I'm not happy with calling Trina fat. That's not very nice. So Fat Trina became Harry's wife and led out both the goats. Harry had a good time of it and had no work that he required to do, so he could just rest. But when he wanted to rest from being idle, he went out with her now and then and said, "Oh, I merely do it that I may afterwards enjoy the rest even more. Otherwise, one loses all feeling for it." But, as it happens, Fat Trina was no less idle. "Dear Harry," she said one day, "why should we make our lives so toilsome when there's no need for it, and thus ruin the best days of our youth? Would it not be better for us to give up the 2 goats to our neighbour, and he can give us a beehive for it? We will put the beehive in a sunny place behind the house and trouble ourselves no more about it. I mean, bees don't require to be taken care of or driven off to a field. They just fly in and out and come home and again for themselves, collect honey without giving it the very least trouble at all." "Oh, you've spoken like a sensible woman," replied Harry. "We will carry out your proposal without delay. And besides all that, honey tastes better and nourishes one better than goat's milk, and we can keep it longer too." Now, the neighbour willingly gave a beehive for 2 goats. So the bees flew in and out from early morning until late evening without ever tiring, and filled the hive with the most beautiful honey, so that in autumn Harry was able to take a whole picture of it. They placed a jug on a board which was fixed on the wall of their bedroom, and as they were afraid that it might be stolen from them, or that the mice might find it, Trina brought in a stout hazel stick and put it beside her bed, so that without unnecessary getting up, she might reach it with her hand and drive away any uninvited guests. Lazy Harry did not like to leave his bed before noon. "He who rises early," he said, "wastes his substance." One morning, when he was still lying among the feathers in a broad daylight, resting after his long sleep, he said to his wife, "Women are fond of sweet things, and you're always tasting the honey in private. It'll be better for us to exchange it for a goose with a young gosling before you eat up all of it." "But," answered Trina, "not before we have a child to take care of them. Am I to worry myself with little geese and spend all my strength on them to no purpose?" "Do you think," said Harry, "that the youngsters will look after geese? Nowadays, children no longer obey, they do according to their own fancy because they consider themselves cleverer than their parents. Just like that lad who was sent to seek the cow and chase 3 blackbirds. Oh, cried Tina. This one shall fare badly if he does not do what I say. I'll take a stick and belabour his skin for him, with more blows than I can count. Look, Harry, she cried in her zeal, and she got hold of the stick which she had to drive the mice away with. Look, this is the way I will fall on him. She reached her arm out to strike, but unhappily hit the honey pitcher above the bed. The pitcher struck against the wall and fell down in fragments, and the fine honey streamed down onto the ground. Oh, there lie the goose and the young gosling, said Harry, and want no looking after. But it's lucky that the pitcher did not fall on my head. We have all reason to be satisfied with our lot. And then, as he saw that there was still some honey in one of the fragments, he stretched out his hand for it and said quite gaily, The remains, my wife, we will eat with a relish, and we will rest a little after the fright that we've just had. What matters if we do get up a little later? The day is always long enough. Yes, answered Trina. We shall always get to the end of a proper time. At the proper time. She's so lazy. Do you know that the snail once was asked to go to a wedding and set out to go, but arrived at the christening instead? In front of the house it fell over the fence and it said, Oh, speed does no good. And that's the end of Lazy Harry. Oh my word, weren't they both really, really lazy? Anyway, today's shout out is to Connie. Connie, who lives over in West Yorkshire. Connie is definitely not lazy. She's like a live wire. She dances and she sings, but she yodels the best I've ever heard. So thank you for listening to the story and have a lovely keep on yodeling, Connie. Bye.